Hello guys and welcome down to the CoasterGen Show. As you can see, we're trying something a little bit different today. And we are joined by Sean from ParkSpill. This is going to be difficult. Joe from Theme Park Insanity and Mikhile over there. Yeah. Hello guys. James couldn't be with us today, unfortunately. He's feeling a bit under the weather. It's not COVID related, he just doesn't feel very well. So yeah, just thought we'd try this out. We wanted to try this out a few times before, but now we've finally tried it. So what do you think? Let us know in the comments, let us know in the chat. Yeah, not much has gone on today really, has it? You know? Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been quiet. Thank you so much for showing me the Peach Fanta. No, I'm joking. Thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers, guys. That absolutely means the world to me, to everybody behind the scenes here at CoasterGen as well, from everyone who we've worked with, from Sean to Joe, Mikhile, Roller Coaster Rachel, Ride Sims, Virtual Towers Online, Euromagic. Sorry if I don't mention your name, but honestly, Jammy, No Limits Coaster Fan, everyone who we've ever worked with, to get us up to this moment has been like, it's been a massive project, and to get us to 1K finally is just amazing, and you guys have just smashed it out the park. Now, quick disclaimer, the giveaway won't be until next week because I have somebody to do the giveaway with us. Yeah, so I'll tell you more about that during the week. Make sure you stick by our socials, and you make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything. So we're in. This is the podcast. This is the new look for the CoasterGen Show now. This is probably what we're going to do, keep going forward. So let us know in the comments what you think. And if you're watching this on playback, thank you so much. Make sure you subscribe to ParkSpill. I did it right. Yes, ParkSpill. And make sure you check out themeparkinsanity.co.uk and follow them on Facebook and everywhere else.
Cheers, man.
All right. So, hello, everyone.
Hi.
Good evening.
Hi. That's good. Congratulations, mate. That was
so much, man.
There's a lot of hard work, mate, and well done. It was. I can't think of anyone who deserves it more, mate.
I appreciate
very
that.
well deserved, mate. Well done.
Like, you smashed out
Shame you
one.
couldn't get it on your birthday, but
oh, I know, man. It's like, but Sean smashed out 1K in 3 months, and I was like, ow.
Mate, I keep saying that anyway. Like
Efteling, right?
Yeah, Efteling, man. Efteling.
Efteling's the one. Let's have a quick hello to people in the chat. Hello James, hello Sibby, hello Theme Park Towers, hello, it's Mello. Okay, hello Popcorn Rat. Hey, not seen you for a while. Hello Jammy, hello Theme Park Towers. I said to you, John, Gamer Cucumber. What's happening? John, loads of new people actually, quite a few new people. Yeah, welcome to everybody. So if you guys are new to the CoasterGen Show, basically we're just going to talk about some of the topics that's going on right now in the theme park industry. Obviously, a big one, which we'll probably start with, is the Fright Nights announcement that's just happened this week. So who wants to grab all of that one and run with it?
I'm happy to do that, considering I booked my tickets just before the show. So
sweet.
Yeah, so it's obviously really exciting news. They've got one brand new scare maze that is coming, but obviously they've also lost quite a few. But to make that up, they've put 2 scare zones. They've got loads of street live entertainment. So shall I just briefly go through what they've got planned? So in terms of the scare mazes, they've got 2 scare mazes. Platform 15, which is that's a regular now. That's £10, £9 if you're a Merlin annual pass holder.
Why is that for your quid you get back from doing your pre-booking? Is that what?
That's
is that what that is?
That's literally what they've done. I didn't even think about that.
That's a deposit quid.
Oh my god! Yeah. I was like, oh, good. That was good. We got a discount. No.
Nope. Always a catch.
But obviously the new one is Roots of Evil. So both are pretty much outdoor mazes. It's the Root of Evil seems to be about a forest, evil in the forest, pretty much 13, I think, maybe. But yeah, and that's another one. But that's all
it's
kind
not
of know
Blair Witch
about.
In the Shed.
Shed the maze
with Roots of Evil written on top of the shed. That was crazy.
It probably will be that. Let's be honest.
That's what they've been doing behind Inferno during the off season.
Yeah. But something interesting someone pointed is the so this will be the first Fright Nights have been and I think I was saying before the show, I was like, the thing that kind of put me off from going to Fright Nights. I didn't just go, I'm not going to go because of this, but it was just like, it was scheduling didn't work. But it's the fact that before, obviously, with Fright Nights, all the mazes were included in your ticket. So if you were a Merlin annual pass as well, you paid nothing. But kind of the other side of that was that you had to queue up for everything. So you'd be looking at like quite a long wait for all the mazes to get into. So the way I'm kind of seeing this is it's like a fast track for scare maze, and that's kind of what I'm seeing really.
Yeah. Fair point.
That's the way it was before, so it's a bit different now. But obviously then we've got Creek Freaks Unchained, which is a scare zone. That's going to be in like the western area. And then we have Swarm Invasion, which is like a live
man.
game.
That looks
Swarm
epic.
Island. It's like got holes. It's going to basically be a backstory of it.
Like literally, like we were saying before we went live, like you, me at 6 blasting, loads of people, loads of scare actors running around the Swarm area. Like, man, it's just going to be like opening night again, right? That's probably what it's going to be like. With I wonder if they'll turn the BBC reporters on the TVs. They've not had them on.
I wonder if they'll turn the fire on. They'll turn the fire on the fire engine on. That'd be a good start, wouldn't it?
Hey, hey Chris. Screw Loops is in the chat. Hey Chris.
Hey man.
Hey.
All right.
Hey Chris.
Yeah, big shout out to Chris for everything that helped us with as well over here at CoasterGen with doing the Virtual Towers online stream. That just boosted our channel so much. So thank you so much for that, Chris. I appreciate it. And the podcast as well. Appreciate it. Cheers, Dan. Thanks to everyone. We'll get to the chat, guys. I know you're all saying congratulations, and I really appreciate it. Make sure you smash like as well and share this around. So, but yeah, back to Swarm Invasion. When I first saw the Swarm logo on the video that they did, I was like, are they turning it backwards? And then I was like, oh, no, damn it. I loved it when it went backwards, man. But imagine if it was like, just think what it's going to be like when you go over that 0G roll and you just see chaos like happening off to your right-hand side. It's just going to be so cool.
It's already like one of the best themed areas in the UK. Like, probably is the best themed area in the UK. So with like actors and stuff going around, like it's going to be wicked. Like,
I was just going to say, what do we think that they're going to add to the whole experience of that area then?
Fog.
Of it.
Fog and red lights.
Yeah.
Probably just,
a no limit trick.
And pyrotechnics as well. Sorry, pyrotechnics as well, probably. A lot of that.
You're clutching at straws there, I think, if you want the fire on.
Hey, you never know.
No, but we
could happen.
Alien invasion, so it's going to be like a lot of aliens around.
Storm Area 51. That would be really cool if it did something like that. That would be so funny. Like everybody storms the church. That would be hilarious. We found them. We found the bodies.
No, look, I'm really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to that. Like, if that was the only scare maze they announced, I'd be happy with that. But the fact that they've got 2 scare zones and then they've got the 2 mazes.
So I'm guessing the Creek Freak one's just going to be basically the chainsaw actors just roaming around Loggers Leap station area, isn't it? Like where Curly Fries are, which the arch nemesis likes. There's a lot of people said they're not very good though, but I'm not trying.
Just the thing about scare zones as well. We just mentioned it with Swarm Invasion. Like in my opinion, I think in the midst of all, just in usual years, in the midst of all the scare zones that you might see at like a Fright Nights or a Scarefest or somewhere like that, I think I don't know if it's because just scare zones in general aren't as frequent here as they are at park Halloween events in the States.
Yeah,
they kind of get underrated a little bit over here because there's not as many of them. But like, yeah, it's as soon as we start talking about the Halloween events, it's all about the scare zones, isn't it? Like we don't really go into much detail about the scare zones.
I mean, what did we say last year, particularly obviously about Alton Towers, is the fact there wasn't enough scare zones, or in fact there wasn't any scare zones.
Say that, to be fair.
And that seems to be a recurrent theme kind of throughout the year about, the Halloween attractions in general. COVID has presented a very good opportunity to kind of bring that back and then
Absolutely.
some. And the fact that it's all outdoors, you know, this gives them the chance to really go to town. And you can just see that by the fact that they've gone with a swarm, you know, doing that. The one thing I am kind of curious about is what's the crows about? Because that seems to be something that I'm a little bit unfamiliar with. Is that a brand new one?
That is new, and all it says is they'll be like, because on all of them it tells you where they're located. With that one, it says various points around the park, so it's going to be roaming actors, I think.
Yeah, maybe it's like what they do at Blackpool Pleasure Beach with that big devil thing that walks around. Is it devil?
Like
I don't know.
The werewolf.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, like that, but just a lot of Wait, that's going to be like the Power Rangers movie when they're all fighting.
Putty Patrol.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing to remember with this, the thing to remember with this is they've listed Rides in the Dark as an attraction, so they're obviously trying to like fluff it out a little bit. But so I don't think all of this is going to, like the crows, I think it's going to be a very minimal thing. But they've got they're showing short horror films presented by Bloody Cuts. I don't know if you guys, I mean, you should know.
Yeah, was it the Fear Festival, Screenplex Theatre?
Screenplex. So that's pretty cool. Like they're turning the cinema into just short little horror films. I mean, I know that most people will probably not, like, if they're there, they want to do, but if you want to like a bit of a chill or something like that, it's good, like little to go watch like a 5-minute short film.
Is that going to be on the beach?
To watch them.
Oh, that's where the crows could be, on the beach.
That is true. Yeah,
could drain the water and have something there. I think maybe I don't know. Have they done that before? We should have done it. Where was Big Top? Big Top was near the front, wasn't it?
That was near where Rush is, kind of in that area, I believe.
So not far off. Not far off the front then.
Just around the corner. Yeah.
Literally. To be fair, you can't really be far from the front anyway at Thorpe Park, can you?
Well, you can't. No, it's so compact. So
I wonder if they're going to do something by Rumba. Like, that is quite a big area. Like that town there, you could theme that up to be like, because it does kind of look like a bit like a really crappy main street. Like, that's kind of what it looks like. With a KFC and a shack going through the building. But I mean, like round there, you could do that. You could do it like an Elm Street kind of thing, like a scare zone there. You could do that. That would work pretty well. Just like,
I mean, they've kind of sort of mentioned the fact that like Amityville High, you know, that's going to be something that's coming back. That was near Stealth, but there also appears to be some sort of like along a Howling theme from what I gather as well. So perhaps that's, you know, potentially maybe going to be in that sort of area.
Yeah, makes sense.
And if you kind of, as you said, incorporate the buildings into it, there's something they could do very well there, and very, you know, immersively as well.
Because Mikhile, have you been to Universal Halloween Horror Nights? Like, because they pull you into like buses and all kinds of stuff. Just
I actually haven't. That's probably if I had to choose one Halloween event to do at a park, it would be that one, 100%.
Yeah,
definitely.
I've done Howler Scream at Busch Gardens Williamsburg though, and
what was that like?
So it was good. The one thing I would say about it is that because they struggled with staffing, the scare mazes weren't maybe as effective as they could have been because there weren't as many actors in them. So there wasn't as many scares, but the sets themselves, I mean, they varied from maze to maze, but the set design of each maze was awesome. This is why I mentioned the scare zones earlier as well. The scare zones were incredible. Like there was so for anyone that doesn't know, Busch Gardens Williamsburg is themed to European countries, and the country that you enter first when you enter the park is England. And what they do for Howler Scream
is
they well, it's like it's like
the Greg's on the corner.
Woolworths on the other side.
Woolworths, blooming it.
TK Maxx, man.
So it's like it's themed to like Elizabethan England with a lot of the Tudor architecture on the buildings and stuff. And what they do for Howler Scream is they deck it out to look like sort of the time period of Jack the Ripper.
Ooh,
and
nice.
Like they use a whole lot of fog, a whole lot of
red lights.
UV lighting. A lot of red lights. What they do with the Union Jack flags and the England flags hanging over as garlands over the top, they switch those out with wanted posters.
Oh, nice.
And stuff.
Cool.
And it's so effective. So they put a lot of effort into the presentation of their scare mazes as well as the scare zones as well.
Yeah. That sounds
That's
amazing.
cool.
Really does.
Yeah, it's
Sounds
awesome.
so cool.
Because they're obviously like they're less hands-on, aren't they? They don't really do anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know for 100% sure, but I don't think the actors are allowed to touch you in mazes. I don't remember ever being touched by an actor in any of the mazes or anything. So
it's kind of like the theming just make up for that though, because like, you know, me and Joe had this conversation where we were saying kind of, is it going to be less scary in a maze this year because we know that they like can't touch us? And I always say like the scariest moments in a maze is like, it's like a horror film. It's like the run up to it, isn't it?
The suspense.
It's like the suspense, the atmosphere. It's sometimes when an actor grabs me, I'm like, oh, that's kind of sport it now. I know you just, you know what I mean?
All you can do is give me a dead arm at the most.
Yeah.
Legit. I don't know. I think that they're gonna have to put more into, like, for example, I know I'm a score. It sounded like on that video that I'm a score have done another soundtrack,
a brand new track
for the Fright Nights. It sounds like.
I feel like I heard that. I feel like I heard that they have.
Yeah, I could hear it in the video that they did.
I could hear it.
Yeah,
I didn't know if it was just like it's to me it sounded like kind of just like a bit of a remix. It didn't really sound like I'm a Score had done. It didn't sound like to the level of like the Oktoberfest one they've done.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they've actually. It'd be nice if we could get some like music, but I guess I just can't see them like. I can see them doing it for Oktoberfest because Oktoberfest is all about music, entertainment, makes sense. But no, it's I don't know. But like I say, there's obviously been a lot of mixed reviews. Well, I say reviews, but responses to it on social media because of that upcharge. It's thrown a lot of people off. But I guess the way I'm seeing it is like at the end of the day, someone said to me like, pay me 20 quid or Fight Nights isn't happening. I'll be like, here's 20 quid. Like that's that's what I'd do.
Yeah.
Even if I didn't go, I'd still do it. Like I'd still pay for it because it's one of them things. It needs to happen, and it's like,
and you can clearly see it's forcing them to be creative with it as well. It's not just scare mazes on there. There's a whole heap of different things it looks like they're offering.
I mean, let's be honest. In the last 5 years, all the scare mazes have been put a bag over your head and make you crawl underneath something. and I've just been like, I'm literally not asked at all about this. I don't care about it. I'll just go on my Nemesis 500 times while you guys go and crawl underneath a, children's play pit with a bag over your head. It's just not. It just never appealed to me. But this does. This feels more like an atmospherical experience, and I'm down for that. I'm down for that.
It's nice because it'll give them I feel like with this 2 scare mazes they have got, they'll put a lot more effort into just making them like the level of like the attic, for example, and the level of Darkest Depths, which I know that I didn't do Creek Freak Massacre, but that did look really good. Like
it did. It looks incredibly fun.
But yeah, I think a lot of them, from just what I heard from like reviews and what people I know who went, they were saying like they do like a good effort for like 1 or 2, and then the rest are just kind of like filler ones. So I think with this and it's like you say, Mikhile, like it's about time we get good scare mazes back in, because like Alton Towers used to do scare mazes all the time, and it's not like they're not wanted. It's just that they just don't do them, and I don't
even that freak show when they did what was it, 2018?
Yeah,
that's coming back this year, but in more of like an outdoor maze style feel as well. So looking forward to seeing that one.
Yeah, but that freak show scare zone, it was on the path between Spinball and X Sector, wasn't it?
It was.
Wasn't that like zombies and buses and things like that? I think. Is that what it was?
No.
That was the year before.
Something else. That was Hazards or something like that, wasn't it? I can't remember what it was called.
Yeah, Freak Show was like a sideshow thing with like World's Strongest Man and Bearded Woman, all that sort of thing. Traditional kind of sideshow things.
That looked really good.
It did.
Really good.
And we've got, talking of that as well, there's obviously at Thorpe this year, this thing called the Festival Arena, which seems to be like a kind of type of like circus of horrors type.
Oh, they found something to do with Darren Brown's Ghost Trains area, have they?
Hey!
Yeah.
Why
almost
not?
it'll be more like a sort of throwback to Big Top as well, won't it? Which a lot of like old school fans will be really happy about. It'll have that feel, hopefully.
So that's going to be at the Dockyard from 3 p.m. That one with the Festival Arena. I can't say that, or Festival.
It just sounds like someone trying to say festival with a weird accent.
Yeah.
Festival night.
Yeah.
Festival, man.
I'll go try an Australian accent then, but I won't.
Avoid accents.
Yeah, avoid accents, especially when you're on camera. Yeah, big clown face returns. Jammy. Please. Yeah, let's see what everyone's saying. There was something that, there you go. Coaster Dan, Universal Studios is crap. Wow, that's a controversial opinion.
Oh, that is controversial.
Who said that?
Didn't
Coaster Dan.
Didn't Coaster Dan make a video about his undying love for Tidal?
How dare you?
How is Universal Studios crap?
That's crazy, man. You can't do. You can't.
I mean,
sorry.
it's
I'm
not.
gonna
Like,
need you. That's
heads or tails.
Hot take. That's a hot take.
We need Jeremy Kylan for that one.
Bring back Jerry Springer.
Oh wow, too hot for TV.
Jerry.
Oh my god, Jerry Springer, man, that was hilarious. I remember when he did a segment on WWE, and it was just like, what's happening? Like, apparently the lead writer Vince Russo used to watch Jerry Springer and bring in the drama from Jerry Springer and put it into the Attitude Era of wrestling, and that's how it like all worked. Like he'd watch an episode of Jerry Springer and like he's writing out Raw as he's watching it. Wow. Like with all the controversial stuff that happened and stuff in the Attitude Era. It's
so like that kind of sort of thinking back, you can kind of see that as well. You can
you can.
See where that
absolutely
came from.
You can. 100% you can see where it is if you think about it.
Absolutely,
crazy.
Definitely.
I think the upcharge is good, but I reckon that they should be £8 like Towers. So is Towers all £8 then? Is it no discount or anything like that? Do we know about Towers, what they're going to do? Have they released like the full lineup of everything, or
Towers have? Yeah. So
they have.
So Joe, she booked all them, but we've got Darkest Depths is confirmed now. I saw them constructing it yesterday as well.
Yeah, there's Tower Street released pictures as well, didn't they? Over kind of back end of Dark Forest today.
Yeah, it's gonna be. So if you imagine going up to Towers, you got the rehydration station next to Towers,
Beach Fanta,
and then you can go left. You can go left down there to get to the gardens. It's literally like the front of it's gonna be down there. That's gonna be.
Okay, that makes sense because we were thinking it was like further over, weren't we? Like,
that's originally
what I was... in the last show.
That's going to be the entrance because saw him make like cutting all the wood to do like some kind of facade. So yeah, that's going to be there. We've got the attic is confirmed. We've got the Freak Show Toxic Junkyard confirmed.
Yeah, that's over near where the golf thing is.
Yeah.
That's near X Sector.
Rip the golf.
And it's
it's still there. It's just going to be floating around. It's just going to be like a floating feature, a bit like the shark at Mutiny Bay. It's just going to be one of the things.
Bit another floater at Towers.
No.
Why not?
How do you think they're going to socially distance Altonville's Mines Tours? I said that like I was drunk. Altonville Mine Tours. It's so compact, and I don't know how. From James Coleman.
Yeah. Because it's the corridors are like that in some parts, aren't they? So like literally really close together.
I think it's going to be that they'll do some stuff where they'll where they have the skin like looks meant to be like skin hanging down.
Yeah,
they probably won't have that there. But then the rest of it, you're going in like by yourselves, aren't you? So you're in your groups. So I think they'll probably just I don't know. Like I think they'll probably. Maybe like make it a little bit more less widen it. That's what I was trying to think of.
Make it wider.
Make it wider. That's what I'll probably do for that, I think. But that was the one. I was like, if there's one maze they won't bring back this year, it will be Altonville Mine Tours. Because like Project 42, they could easily make that like people behind Perspex glass and like banging against it. But Altonville is all about like, men running around in pants and hugging you and stuff. Weird. So I was just like,
Do you know what's crazy about towers, though? Right? Don't mean to cut you off, but you know what's crazy about towers is they've got the best location out of all of the parks to do the best scare things, but yet Fright Night seems to take it every year. Like, it seems to like take the more of the IP audience and stuff like that. It takes it down south towards London, whereas you've got a castle, use it. You know, you've got a massive manor. I mean, Virtual Towers Online did it when they made us walk through it in the dark, and just walking through that was enough. Like, if you just put like a soundtrack with it, but literally as you start from like where the what is it, like the cathedral bit where that is, and if you just walked around it with a soundtrack with a few actors here and there, like every so often, even if you went upstairs and stuff like that, you just explored it like a scare zone, but inside the towers. Yeah, that would be so cool. That would be awesome.
I mean, that's kind of like was the basis of Terror at the Towers for like years, weren't it? Really, they've utilized the actual, and then now that's the attic, which they actually take you right up into the top. Did you go to the Scarefest last year?
Not last year, no.
It was really good last year. Like,
was it?
Really, really
it
good.
was incredibly good. Yeah,
very good. Like the attic, that scare maze, the way they've used that space inside the towers is so good. Like,
cool.
the atmosphere it created as well, and like the lighting they used, and just everything about it was just spectacular.
Because I would say, to be honest, I don't know. I guess it depends who you talk to, but for a lot of years now, most people, I'd say, think that like Scarefest does take it over Fright Nights.
Okay.
I think it's just because, like you say, they're set up to make it eerie. Like just going up to the towers and hearing the spooky music, it's like enough to be like, oh god.
Yeah.
I think they could still, like, say on your point, Luke. Like, I do agree that they could utilize the place a lot more. Like, imagine having an actual scare maze in the Swiss Cottage.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah,
like they did it once before. Like, I don't know why they don't do it again.
Did they do anything to the Haunted Hollow during Scarefest, or did they just leave it as it is?
They just don't they put like a darker soundtrack on and just fill it with fog and put the lights, basically put the tea lights on. I think that's all they do. And they play stuff that comes out of it every so often.
If I was them, I would go like that's the perfect place to put your best scare zone. I feel like.
Sean, you're looking very serious there, mate. Are you still there? You there?
Oh,
there you are. He's back now. Sean's back.
Hey.
I don't know what's going on. It's
it's being weird.
Yeah, being very weird.
They did Haunted Hollow live a few times. What was that, Jammy? Let us know about what that was.
Well, that would be a perfect place for a scare zone every year. Like, they just got to throw some actors in there, and that's isn't it? Right.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Like, it's the ideal location. Like, the entire park is ideal for, you know, maxed out scare zones and stuff. But the Haunted Hollow in particular looks like. I mean, it's not like there's room for like a scare zone in there or anything. So, not a scare zone, a scare maze. Sorry. It would be the perfect place to do like your most well done scare zone, I think.
2 words, Hex Live. Yeah, that sounds legit. That Hex Live is pretty cool.
They did Jewel Live, didn't they?
Yeah, they did Jewel Live, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Did I do? No, I did Subterra. The beefed up Subterra. That was cool. That was really cool. I missed that ride just because of that experience.
I just never got to do it, unfortunately. I really wish I had.
You never did Subterra? No.
Unfortunately not, no.
It was good, man.
No, I don't either.
It was good, and the drop, predictable as it was quite innovative at the time, and it was fun. It was a fun experience. And the little scare zone, the scare maze you had coming out, well, sorry, call it scare maze, but the little chase out of the actual facility at the end was mint. The way they did the lift and everything was really cool. Like, it just vibrated, a bit like Willy Wonka's, how Willy Wonka's lift used to move in the Charlie and Chocolate Factory ride. Kind of like that, but just vibrated, and the numbers ticked down on the lift, and then you were thrown out, and it was like, and then like, everybody's like, out this way, out this way, out this way. It's crazy. It kicked off.
Mass panic.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then at the start of it, obviously, like you have everybody dressed up in is it phalanx? Is that what it's called?
Phalanx, yeah.
And they're all dressed up in the gear. They got the SWAT gear on and stuff like that. They're like, get on that line, don't move off that line and stuff like that. Like, Papa took it really seriously. And if you had good actors in there and actresses in there, it was awesome. It was really cool. It was a good ride, good experience. I enjoyed it.
I loved it.
I enjoyed it. It was somewhat different as well. Like, you had a day of riding coasters, and then, like, say if you went for 2 days, you could just go on Subterra, like, mid-afternoon, 15, 20-minute queue, and it's a completely different experience. It just takes you to like the Scarefest kind of feel and vibe to it. It's really cool. All year long, it felt like it was separate, completely separate from the experiences in the park, and it was really cool for that.
That's what I always say, because the thing is, but it's after obviously the Smiler incident, they closed a lot of things, and then that one just never reopened up again. But I always just said, like, why don't you just give people the option of like paying extra for it? Like, I would have paid extra for that rather than the dungeons every time.
Yeah, $5 easy.
Like, because they were properly acted with you. They had actors in the end bit. I was like, I would literally pay extra for that.
Even the baggage people were moody. I don't know if that was a thing or if that was like actually just staff being moody. But they look pissed off. Like they legit looked annoyed that you were there exploring their facility. I think that was actually on purpose. I want to say
probably part of it. Yeah.
If anybody's worked on Subterra, reach out to us and let us know if you've worked on Subterra, and let us know if you were supposed to be moody when you were picking my bags up. Appreciate it.
See if anyone actually remembers this as well.
My mouse be on Joe's. No, sorry, mate. My mouse has been on your face the whole time. Sorry, Joe. Cheers, James. James has said, wanted me to tell you guys thank you as well so much for 1,000 subscribers, because James is a massive part of that as well. So guys, thank you from James. Sorry, mate. I forgot to say that before. I think I said it before.
Sorry, can't be here, mate. I hope you get well soon.
Yeah, man. Get well soon.
Indeed.
Oh, Jammy's crying now. I missed the egg. It's quite funny. I had a few mates that called it egg the ride. Let's go on eggs. Let's go and see our eggs. Like Hannah and Jake used to say that quite a bit. I've got quite a few people in the chat now. This is crazy. Okay, Mikhile, do you want to talk about the mega coaster at Wallaby?
Yeah. Finally.
Go for it. Yeah, we were supposed to talk about this, by the way, guys, for the last 3 shows, and we just completely forgot about it.
Just completely.
A bit like Universal.
So Wallaby Belgium, everyone probably already knows by now, to be honest. But Wallaby Belgium is gonna be adding a new mega coaster by Intamin to be opening next year. Looking along the lines of Expedition G-Force. In the sense of the way its first drop looks and like its element progression, but just adding a whole bunch of more creative, innovative elements to it. If anyone's seen construction on it so far, you will have seen the non-inverting Cobra roll that's somewhere in the layout. That got put up first, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And so then after that got finished, or
that was to confuse everybody. That was to literally confuse them. What the heck is that? I'm like, I've done one of them before. It's pretty forceful. That is one of the. I've always wanted to experience that. I don't know why. It's just one of them things. Being kicked out of a Cobra roll, it just looks interesting. But I mean, like you say, it's like G-Force. Yeah, like you say, it's like Expedition G-Force. That thing still to this day is a lot of people's number one coasters. Like coasters, it's a rankings coaster. It's up there for airtime and everything like that. And when we were doing the ride sims and people were coming in when we were doing the ride sims in Expedition G-Force, they were like, "Oh, this is my favorite ride. This is my favorite ride." The chat was full of it, and I was like, "Wow, really? You live in like, you got like Universal. You've got like." Could see the point, all that stuff. I'm like, no, Expedition G-Force is a good ride.
It's because, like, if I remember correctly, it was because I can't remember the year that G-Force opened, but it was around about the same time that Millennium Force opened. And when Millennium Force opened, that was the standard. in 2000. So having something open over in Europe that looked even just on first glance looked like it offered the same kind of ride experience, that was going to get the eye of a lot of enthusiasts around the time. Because I mean, I've heard it's weird because I've heard obviously we've heard a lot of people rave about it. It's on a lot of coaster enthusiasts bucket list. A lot of people say that it rides even better than Millennium Force, and then I've had more than a few people tell me that they think it's overrated as well. So
wow, okay. I've never heard that, so that's interesting.
Yeah, especially in the last a couple of close friends of mine went and rode it in 2018, I think it was either 2018 or last year, and they were like, it's good, it's not quite as mind blowing as they expected it to be, but I don't know. I'm trying not to, when I eventually get to ride it, I don't know when that'll be, but I'm trying not to let my expectations get too high about it. But
I think we've got a tour of that when we go. So if we go, let me know when you're going, because I think we've got behind the scenes tour of that from when we did the Ride Sim stream.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
they did actually say that, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they welcome us.
Yeah.
And we'd meet
Pedro. Definitely take advantage of that.
We were calling Pedro.
Pedro the mechanic.
Was it Pedro? It was Pedro the mechanic, wasn't it? Yeah.
Pedro the mechanic.
Pedro the mechanic. That was the one. Yeah.
Everyone was like, I was like trying to think of random names to call the mechanic, and then I called it like Pedro, and they were like, no, he's called Pedro. I was like...
back to Wallaby Belgium's coaster. So after they finished the Cobra, there was they started on the lift, I think, or they did the drop first. They did either the lift or the drop first, and then completed those, and then they they did the first hill after the drop, and now I think they must have completed the overbanking turn after that first hill by now, because it was a few days ago that I saw that they only had the top two track pieces to put in of that element. So it's looking like the entire first half of the coaster has been all but finished by now. But it looks. It's shot up. It's been just like Velocicoaster at Islands of Adventure. The track construction.
Don't know what you're talking about.
It's not there.
Sorry, I made that up.
I think you've been platform 9 3/4 too many times, bro.
I mean,
the track construction has gone up so quick. It seems like these newer gen Intamins are really easy for construction crews to get up.
IKEA flat packs, like literally.
Yeah.
Shit balls. I mean, you're talking about, obviously, like, you got this in Belgium, but not only that, next year, Movie Park Germany have announced this Intamin multi-dimensional coaster, which I think is the first of its kind.
Well remembered, Joe. Well remembered.
Very well remembered.
Right next door. I'm not looking at Facebook, honest. I promise you.
Yeah, useless, man.
No, but yeah, I mean, you've got that, and then you've got that opening up in Germany. It's like, that seems to be the area of Europe to be in 2021 so far. It really does.
Also, Plopsaland get an extreme spinning coaster as well.
And of course there is that, yeah.
It's going to be insane, like around that, like, it's just driving distance.
I'm feeling a road trip coming on. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I was talking about this in another chat the other day. It seems like where a lot of the new coasters for in the US for 2020, 2021 and beyond are being put on hold and postponed and pushed back and stuff. It seems like a lot of the construction on new European coasters for the next year or so are still going ahead as planned. It seems like construction hasn't slowed down that much. Abyssus at Energylandia is, well, I mean, that they're testing now.
It's been testing,
it's been testing for the past It's been testing for the past few days, and they're cracking on with the construction of the Aqualantis area as well. So it looks like coaster construction and park area construction at European parks hasn't really been affected too much by
in comparison to the States. Like Six Flags isn't even opened yet.
Exactly.
So that's a big thing. But one of the points you made there is that the European parks are staying open, and the European coasters are going up. Well, that could be partly because a lot of the manufacturers are European as well.
Indeed, yeah,
because they've all had to come back. So maybe that's why.
You've got Intamin, you've got Mac. Well, Mac's obviously Germany, and Intamin, I believe, are Germany as well. I think so.
I think Intamin is Switzerland.
Yeah,
Switzerland. Sorry, I get
B&M's Swiss as well, isn't it?
Swiss, that's it. Yeah.
Mac's German.
Vekoma is somewhere in the Netherlands, I think.
Is it really?
Netherlands or Belgium. Maybe. I could be wrong on that. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, because that's why Netherlands has got quite a lot of Vekomas, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, it's like not far from Efteling even, I think. Like I don't know. Maybe I made that up, but I'm sure.
Vekoma is Dutch, yes, from Jammy. Jammy knows his stuff.
Yeah,
there you go. When is that opening? FLY. When is that fly? What? When it?
Oh, fly at Fantasyland.
When is Fly opening at Fantasyland? Yeah, that'll be next year, won't it? As well, will it?
Your camo hat just disappeared, then, mate. It's actually camo. Yeah, when you dipped down.
It's like the camo actually worked.
Yeah.
It's like vanished.
This is stupid webcam.
No.
It really is.
It thought your hat was green screen.
Look, smoke bomb. See that?
It vanished completely then.
Oh, I didn't work. I didn't work.
Oh.
Luke's actually a raptor, and that's why we can't see him.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
haunted hollow effects. There you go. That's what you can expect. What we're talking about anyway? We were talking about the manufacturers.
Yeah.
Fly.
Fly. Yes, Fly. So you've seen that, right, Sean? You've had a peek.
Yeah. I had, because obviously they're pretty good at like keeping it hidden, but you could.
I was going to say, how much could you see from it in the park?
What's that?
I was just speaking like, how much of it could you really see like within the park without actually being in the area?
You couldn't see anything down below, but if you went to Colorado Adventure on the top of that hill, you could get right into it.
Really?
Right into it.
Yeah.
So at the front where the rusty hotel is that everyone is hating on, you can see you can see a bit of track through there as well. But apart from that, you can't really see much else. But there's a lot of people like I can't remember who it was now, but someone who's like a good source of like rumors, like normally are real. He's saying it's definitely it's not too long away now. Like I'm hearing the same. I'm hearing that what was it? They're going to be doing employee previews or staff previews within the next week.
Oh wow! Okay, so it's imminent in that case. So,
in fact, I think that got announced. I think that got announced by the park.
Yeah.
Very, very soon, staff previews are supposed to be happening.
So potentially, could it open before the end of the year then? If that's the case,
I think it will.
Maybe,
I think it will, because this is the thing. Like people assume that it's not going to open because of COVID, but when I went to Phantasialand not that long ago, it was packed. Like it's not.
It did look very busy. Like
and
like you were struggling to carry your camera around, to be honest with you, and not get like people in your way.
It was the most packed park I've been to out of the UK parks and everything like that. It was mental, to be honest.
Really?
So I don't think that's going to stop them from opening it. And I think just the way that Phantasialand are, how they're quite secretive. They kind of just do what they want to do, and
it's kind of...
Go on, mate.
Oh yeah, sorry. Sorry to be off. It was just like I was just thinking, because they've got the whole of their operation up until the winter event, Wintertraum, to go, and then the whole of Wintertraum that goes through until the end of January. If it's ready to go, why would they just have it sit there?
They wouldn't
until next summer season.
And if we can travel there through the corridor Man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's going to get a lot of visitors in there. A lot.
Oh, yeah.
I'm planning on going in winter again. I'm just
same.
As soon as as season ends, I'm going to do the Europe parks if I can.
Yeah.
And yeah, because it's just like when I went to like Klugheim, I was like, this is one of them areas. It's a winter area. You can
I bet it looks so good at winter.
You know what I mean? Like,
oh my god!
Area.
It looks so Viking. Like literally looks like it's been pulled out of Vikings and just dropped in Fantasia. Yeah,
and the thing is, the rides at Phantasialand have been manufactured to be able to operate in, I think it's below freezing temperatures, or maybe just around freezing, not just above, something like that. Really cold, basically. So like there's pictures and videos of like Taron operating when it's snowing and stuff.
Wow.
Oh,
can you imagine being in? Yeah. So can you imagine being in?
Not on the front row.
It'll hurt.
No.
Not on the front.
But yeah, just that Klugheim area in the snow with Taron just rushing around you. How good does a visual get?
Just for pictures, man. Just for pictures. That would just
absolutely.
Not even just for riding, just literally like just for pictures and video for that. That would be incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd have cold hands. Like, don't get me wrong, carrying the camera around.
Like that.
I don't know if you guys. I don't know if any of you guys ever played like Skyrim, but like, what Klugheim? When I went to Klugheim, I was like, this is like literally Skyrim. So if with snow as well, I'm like, that's it. Like I am in like Skyrim.
Oh, you're finally awake. All right, so let's just say a quick hello to chat. If you guys have got any questions in the chat, please let us know now. Now is your chance. Hello to Ben. Hello to Chad. Hello to just telling me about the mouse on your nose. Sorry about that, Joe.
That's all right. My wife said the same.
The non-inverting Cobra roll looks better than a normal Cobra roll. Yep.
It kind of does.
Kyle P, the non-inverting Cobra roll looks really weird. Yep. There you go. Pablo. Yep. Oh, we were talking
Pablo,
about
not Pedro. Sorry,
it's Pablo. That's it. Yeah. Well remembered, Behemoth. Thanks for that.
Indeed.
And everyone's just critiquing my smoke bomb disappearance. But I thought it was pretty sweet, to be honest.
Yeah, it was good. You should be in one of them vape competitions. I think you'd probably win.
Yeah, if I could turn myself invisible into Nemesis, yeah, that'd be great.
James said, if you could bring back one scare maze, which would it be?
Ooh.
I would say straight away Sanctuary. That was the best. How
did I even not think of that? How did I not even think about
that? For me, that was like the perfect scare maze. Everything about that, like that was perfect for, like just queuing up in the conservatory. Like it just fitted so well. Like, and I'm just so gutted that I understand why they took it out, but it was like gutting when we lost it.
There was a really good time, wasn't there? Like, this is like a Halloween episode, where it was just really awesome for the kind of stuff that they were going with, the mind games kind of things, manipulating your emotions, but wildly. Like there was a time when they did it pretty wildly. I mean, the Smiler's a wild coaster. Like it's even based off the Sanctuary, so it's like it makes.
Well, it's that 1994, isn't it? It's Orwellian style. Like that's what they was going for with it, and with the Sanctuary, like it's basically like the backstory to the Smiler, which just made it amazing. Like, really.
Wasn't they saying at one point during the construction of the Smiler that there was going to be like a pre-show to it? Like it was going to be like there was going to be a precursor show to it, which relates to the Sanctuary and everything, ties it all together.
You can imagine seeing
I remember that. I feel like I remember that. Yeah.
Well, you can imagine in that bottom room where they have the projections that never work. Like,
Epsom, the Epsom room.
Epsom. Blue screen.
Yeah.
Blue screen. You can imagine that being a perfect place for some kind of like pre-show. That would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something they could still go back and do in the future. Who knows?
Maybe.
You'd hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, especially with COVID and now you have to have the social distancing. It would make sense sending like 10 people through at a time. It's bigger than the Wicker Man room. So
it was really weird, like with the Smiler yesterday when I went there, because they kept closing the queue down. They're saying it would capacity, and it wasn't at capacity. So
Oh well, that's quite good though. In a way, that's quite good because that is a bad queue.
that is a bad queue.
Yeah.
But I think cutting the line off, I don't see how that will stop the idiots who aren't social distancing. Distance. It just what it does is it causes a bottleneck outside of the Smiler entrance.
Yeah,
everyone
I've noticed that.
And I'm just like, it's just a bad call. Just get him in, just get him in the queue. Like, it's because what they've done now is, I said it in my last vlog, but they've actually created one way outside of the Smiler now, so you can only go down there. And then to get back out, you have to go outside of the fried chicken.
Oh yeah,
and around. I saw that.
I remember talking about that. Yeah,
so that's a good shout. But still, when they close it off, everyone just starts queuing. Like, it doesn't matter what anyone says.
So they're not putting people in the extended queue line. Then they're just literally blocking it off at the entranceway.
Blocking it off at the entrance. Yeah, just shut the gate.
Just throw them up the extended like Wickerman does.
Well, that's just the thing. The extended, the extended's not even full, so I don't understand why they were doing it.
And you can get quite a lot of people in the extended queue line.
Yeah, but they're causing havoc for themselves and their staff, because the staff person outside, Digital Dan put out a tweet today about it, saying it was really not very nice to have to see all these customers complaining and shouting at the staff, the guy at the front of it, because he was overwhelmed by all these people just having a go at him. And it's just you're putting pressure on your staff by saying you got to close the gate. Because the thing is, yesterday, I didn't really go for
guys, is the stream still live? Sorry, my computer.
Yeah, it is. We just had a bit of black screen there, but
it's still going. Yeah,
it's still going.
Okay, cool.
We
blue screen of death.
After Epson.
I actually think my computer has frozen, you know.
Oh,
really?
Well, it's still running here.
As long as it's still running there, that's fine.
Yeah.
yeah.
But obviously, there's a bit of a lag, but it's still going.
It's still going. Yeah.
All right, we'll just go for a little bit longer then, and then we'll call it. Gone weird.
I can't remember what I was saying.
Smile queue.
About closing the gate.
Yeah. I had another point, but I can't remember now.
Sorry, man. Sorry about that.
No, it's good. No, it's all good, man. It's all good. I've just got a memory like a sieve. I was just when you go, I had a good point there. And
I hate that.
It's so annoying.
Wait, hang on. Were you talking about the Galactica gate?
Oh no, sorry. No, I was saying about Smiler. This is what I was going to say. Yesterday when I went, 13 was down. Wickerman was obviously down, and then they decided to close the gates for the Smiler, and I was just like, "You're asking for trouble." There's no flat rides to The problem with towers is to have a real issue with dispersing guests as it is, and you shut all them 3 rides, 13 as well. I'm you're asking for trouble. The 13 was down half the day, so
they're having some serious issues with ride downtime this year. And I mean, I know this is what you would normally call mid-season time now. What they're going to now would be mid-season time.
Yeah.
They would have been open already from March onwards, is what I'm saying. But so the rides would have had time to get teething problems, whatever they've got out of them. But now it seems like they're getting it all at once.
Yeah.
Do we know what the deal is with the Smiler? Sorry, not the Smiler. The Wickerman, rather. Do we know why that one's
so I've got a theory. I think last time I ridden it.
Well remembered, Joel.
Yeah, it's. I actually thought it was a little bit on the touchy side for lats coming out of Bob. That sounded so wrong, but you guys know what I mean. You know what I mean by that.
Yeah.
No one clip that. Yeah. The bit where you go through and then you come out the other side and go around. And that bit there, as you dip down and throw to the right, I felt that throw big time on last time I ridden it. And you've got to remember as well that the amount of mist they've had on. Jamie made a good point of that actually on the Discord the other day. The amount of mist and moisture that's going on down there as well, and with the heat that we've had, there's probably some form of track warping going on. Now, Mikhile, for your sake, mate, I hope it's done.
Oh, me too.
I've heard from. I speak to a guy who works at towers quite regularly, and he said that it will be open within next week or so.
when B&Q
I was
gets the
gonna
wood
say-
back in stock.
I would,
Chipboard now back in stock.
They're just gonna recall all of the woods that they sold in the shop and just get
No, this
people
is
to
what was
I was gonna say
Piece it
though,
together.
There's going to be
because-
so much stock of them ride wood now. They're going to be making everything. We're going to be making mugs out of the wood now.
Yeah.
Put some more.
Bunch of extra offcuts, you know.
Definitely.
Yeah, I was gonna say though, I was kind of just thinking why it kind of seemed weird to me for them to try to retrack it now, but then it makes sense when you think about with Oktoberfest and Scarefest coming up, like they probably want it ready for those two events.
Oh, they will do.
Instead of leaving it till the off season. Depending on how badly the wood's been affected.
Well, stuff. It is, and at the end of the day, with Wicker Man being probably one of the most in demand rides at Alton Towers at the present,
definitely,
for that to be down is going to be a serious problem for the park. So you can understand why they're doing that retracking work now, and obviously, if it is a big problem, it needs sorted straight away.
Because that's the thing, like Smiler, it gets a big queue, but it's Wicker Man gets through the queue like quick. Like
it eats through it.
People eater, isn't it? So they need that backup. And plus, for like Scarefest, any of the late night ridings, it's like it's like the icon for it now, isn't it?
That's the flagship. That's the flagship.
Yeah,
exactly.
They want people tweeting it out on Twitter, like this impressive structure. Like that's what they need. So they've obviously
fire in the dark.
Yeah, it's probably a good. What you said is right. To be honest, they've probably gone. This is going to be an issue. Let's get on top of it now. Before.
Yeah.
Think of how many
people. While it's like
Man.
this little dead period, these next week or so.
Yeah, kids are back to school. They've got time to do it, and we've got to think about as well is how many people the Wicker Man queue holds. Yeah, it's a lot of people. It's a big queue. Like it's massive. So to even have that area of the park closed off is a big letdown for guests who, for example. For example, like you, Sean, when you went the other day, like all them guests that would have been in the queue are probably by the Smiler or Nemesis or Galactica or in between, like, Catania Canyon and stuff like that. It's just a nightmare.
Dead. Well, the whole area was dead. Normally you go down to that area and people are watching it off ride.
Oh, right. So it was the opposite. So it was just everywhere else then. There was probably
everywhere else was busy, but outside of the Wicker Man, like where you've got like Costa, you've got like all the food outlets and stuff like that. The welcome in, it was dead. It was like a ghost town. Like no one was around there. Wow. And normally that's buzzing, but I think people are attracted to it, aren't they? So they go there, eat the food, watch the rides and stuff, and but it was weird because they'd fenced it all off as well. So I was trying to get photos off. You couldn't even get up to the structure itself. Like you couldn't even get up to that first fence. They just fenced it all off.
VTO'd it on you. I mean, you tried jumping a million times.
That's how I had that in my head. I was like, "There's somewhere." I queued up for 45 minutes to get on the sky ride just so I could try and get a good picture of that tent.
45 minutes.
45 minutes. I was like in that queue for the sky ride. And then I got on it. I was in my own little hub, but because it was absolutely like pissing it down around, like just every photo I got was just rubbish, and I was just like, that was wasted.
Yeah. Did you just stay on it all day and then just going round, just like waiting for it to stop raining? I wouldn't have got off. 45 minutes. I would have got my 45-minute ride on that thing. Just keep going round because you get your own.
Straight down to. But the good thing was like it. That was the first time I've seen Nemesis on over an hour queue. I don't think I've ever seen it on over an hour queue.
Well, it's funny to mention that
45 or something like that. Why? What's that, Joe?
I was gonna say it's funny to mention Nemesis because they were queuing right up to where Subterra is today. Apparently,
that's what it was yesterday.
What?
Yeah, apparently they're queuing right up today. In fact, one of our followers, was it Ian Mitchell? It's a big shout out to you if you're watching. Posted a picture on, and they were literally right up to where the queue entrance to where Project 42, obviously, aka Subterra, would actually be right up there. So, it just shows how many
about that. I'm actually glad hearing that because there's been so much talk. There's been so much talk about whether or not Nemesis is
still
losing demand. A lot. Yeah, still in demand, losing a lot of popularity in the park and stuff. And
it's just it gets through the people.
I can't see how it would be. Exactly, it's a capacity monster, like compared to all the others.
Quite literally.
And I can't see I can't see why. I can't see why. I know it's like way back in the left side of the park, and it takes a little longer to get to than most of the other rides in the park and stuff. But I basically I'm coming from a place of hoping to God that it doesn't get taken out anytime soon.
It won't.
I don't think it will either.
It won't, because it only got repainted a couple of years ago. Like,
yeah.
They know how important that ride is. Like, they'd be stupid to do that, because like people come from like America just to because they know how like important that ride is. Like,
it's on that same scale of like Expedition GeForce, like we mentioned earlier, in terms of enthusiastic bucket list coasters over here in Europe. Like Nemesis. When someone says
Alton Towers, what's the first ride you think of?
Yeah, Nemesis.
100%.
Boom, exactly. Well, there you go.
The thing is, like, I did
monorail.
Hell no.
Even though, like, when I first went there, I was taking some photos of Nemesis. The queue was getting up to where Subterra was. I then come back like a little bit later on when it was raining a little bit. 20-minute queue. Got on it in like 5 minutes and got a that was yesterday. I normally always go for like a front row on Nemesis. Like, I like a front row on invert, but I managed to bag a back row, because at the previous years, they reserved the back row for like disabled guests, but they didn't have anyone there. So they let me, on fast track. So they let me I just picked my row, went on the back by myself, because it was like a little bit wet as well. That I've never blacked out on like Nemesis before, but just before
you just said they reserve the back row for fast track.
Yeah, normally they do. Yeah,
fast track and disabled guests.
It used to be single riders.
That's strange to me. That's strange to me. Given that the back row is such a sought after row, just on coasters in general.
They put tape across it, and
on the left hand side of the station, they put the tape across it. Then you can only access it from the baggage area. Which is
yesterday
insane.
They had it free for an hour on it. Anyway, I went, oh my god! Like, honest, my eyes went up. I was like, it's been years, because the like past few years, a back row of Nemesis is more like, one from back, but we just class it as back now. You can't get on back.
Pretty much.
I'm not paying to get on there. I'm not paying, like, because I just refuse to like feed into that. I'm like, I don't agree with it, so I'm voting with my money. Like, but yeah, I went on it, and it was the best ride I've had in Nemesis ever. It was just so good. It was like I say, I grayed out. Like, my vision went blurry just before the 0G over the station. I've never had that before, and I was just like, wow. Like,
that's my favorite part of the entire coaster. That the helix down into the 0G roll. That's my favorite part of Nemesis. I can't wait to see that in person again.
And I actually got a back row in the dark when I went to Scarefest last year, and that was it was absolutely insane, so good. It was just like a whole different experience. So
this is what I mean about the back row, though. Like, because back row rides, especially amongst enthusiasts, it's so sought after a ride experience. Like, I don't think the fast track like allocated row is usually like in the middle of the train from what I've seen on other major coasters.
Inferno loads from the back because it's easier to get disabled. Like James has said, hence why Nemesis Inferno also loads disabled on the back row. Back row is easier to load from the exit. That's what he said. So
it's also like the most like intense. So it's like like obviously everyone's got different disabilities, but I'm like, why would you put someone like who's disabled on the most intense part of it? Like,
does kind of see? I know what you mean. I know what you're trying to say. Yeah.
Does everyone know what they're getting themselves into? Because like I know a lot of people, like friends and stuff, they don't go on the back row. Even the front row is like way too intense for them, because it is an intense ride. Like, it is an intense ride.
Massively.
I don't understand it, but it's one. But sometimes Nemesis does change, because sometimes the fast track entrance, you just basically, if it's long enough, like yesterday, what they were doing is you enter the fast track queue. You know, when you go down into the pit and you basically get in just before the steps up. So you
that is the fast track queue.
That's the fast track queue yesterday.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but most of the time they've not done that for a while. I'm sure they haven't. Like you say, they join the disabled guests at the exit. But yesterday, what they were doing, it was different. I don't know how they like.
Maybe it's because of capacity. Maybe it's because like Wicker Man was down and 30.
And plus, they probably don't want that queue if they've got
loads of people coming off the ride as well.
They don't want people having to pass each other. Like,
exactly. Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, it'd be interesting.
Nemesis back row at night. It's just unbelievably good. Plus, she's been running all day, and it's a completely different coaster at night. I agree, it is. Yeah. I chose to ride Nemesis over watching the fireworks one year, and it was the best decision I ever made.
Yeah,
I'd probably do that.
If you could time it perfectly, you could actually have.
You can watch the fireworks from the lift hill.
That'd be so good.
It was so good. Like I went with school, and there was a few of us, and we just didn't manage to get on much during the day because of how busy it was. So I was just like, you know what? Let's ride Nemesis and then let's see how busy it gets. And literally, Forbidden Valley was ours. We were just lapping Air and Nemesis. Any row we wanted to. We could sit anywhere. They didn't even make us get off the ride if we didn't want to, because the ride ops are just there trying to do their job, aren't they? Operate the ride, and if no one's there, they can't do it. So we were just hopping.
That's literally why.
And Ripsaw was there as well at the time. Yeah,
that's why I've booked multiple trips for like. Scarefest and Oktoberfest. So like, I only need to do Oktoberfest, the whole like main bit once, and Scarefest once, and then like you say, like at night. Actually, no.
Galactica is so good at night.
Yeah,
I'm contemplating a Scarefest visit because now I have a premium pass. Like I don't really have much reason not to get down there for some night rides.
Yeah, absolutely. Like just go like late afternoon and just stay around like Forbidden Valley or like by X Sector before the fireworks come on or whatever like that. Yeah. And just get your night rides in.
It was great last year because last year was the first time me and Joe got our premium passes at the start of last year's season. And we had a lot of clients who were like not far from Alton Towers. So we'd do a job, drop into Alton Towers at night when it was like Scarefest and stuff. And we just like, go, shall we just do like Smile Oblivion? Yeah, let's just quickly like whack it out at night and then go home. It was just so good. Like I absolutely loved that.
Must be nice to live close enough to be able to do that.
I'm so grateful.
Can't relate.
Let's roller coaster just said something. So if you guys don't know what Euro Magic is, it's the recreation of Alton Towers 1-to-1 scale in Minecraft. Same with Thorpe Park as well. They're still working on that. And Fantasialand are working on that. But someone just said, I wonder what the Scarefest is going to be like on the Minecraft server. So Euromagic, if you're listening, you need to hit us up with that, because that is because they did Creek Freak Massacre in the Magicon that they did, and they let us run through it, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. Like the music was there and everything, because we got demonetized. But yeah, everything. Yeah, I think if they do that, it's going to be so cool.
I loved watching that the Euro Magic stream. Like I don't really play. I haven't played Minecraft since I was like even a student. But I was watching that and I was just like, it's come on so much, and it just looks fun.
Mental.
Like, it just looked fun. Like it looked really good, and there's so much work's gone into it. Like everything.
Not only that though as well. Euro Magic, they have where they have a creative mode as well, where you get your own plot of land, and you can use pretty much, if you got like the high subscription for Euromagic, you can use pretty much all of the tools that they use to create the rides and Alton Towers and stuff like that. So you've got like a big resource pack that you can use, so you can build your own rides. And me and James were trying to do it, and we were getting Tomster to help us out as well. Big shout out to Tomster as well. He's helped us a lot here at CoasterGen. So thank you, Tomster. Appreciate that, and everyone at Euromagic actually, to be honest with you. But yeah. It's really cool because we were trying to do it and we was like, we got it to do a loop. Well, James managed to get it to do a loop and then go back into the station. And then we were like, right, now we have to build trains. Oh, it's too much.
Yeah.
it's just too much. Like, because we'd just done a project called Entropy on No Limits 2. Guys, if you've not watched Entropy yet, right, it's had 300 views on No Limits 2. It's our 300 roundup entry for No Limits 2. And it got the last honourable mention in the roundup. It's probably the biggest project we've ever done in No Limits. So if you haven't checked it out, make sure you check it out. I did a pre-show where the camera cuts to actually being inside the station on the pre-show as well. It's got LED strips running up the track. James did an incredible job with the 3D scenery in the station. The trains themselves are CGA trains, CoasterGen attraction trains. So yeah, make sure you check it out if you haven't checked it out. Honestly, it's one of our proudest projects that just doesn't seem to. I might change the thumbnail. Might just make it all RGB strip or something like that. I don't know. See if it gets some attention on it. But no, it was one of the coolest projects we've done. So when we was like, oh, we need to build trains in Minecraft, we were like, no, not again.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a lot of fun. And Ride Sims the other night was incredible. Like Galactica, I think it's had like over 500 views now on the channel. It's ridiculous. Like,
wow,
it's so cool. Them trains took too long. There you go. So James has just popped up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just tells you. But yeah, no, we do have a lot of fun with Year on Magic and No Limits and everything. It's good. But No Limits has taken a little bit of a setback on the channel just because it takes so long, and I'm going through like a transition period at work and stuff. So when I get home now, I'm just too burnt out. I'd rather do a stream of Ride Sims and then just log off for the day, pretty much.
It's the problem with them type of games. They're like Planet Coaster as well. It's like
Planco, man. I've not played that for ages.
It's tough, isn't it? And it's not like it's fun to play, but you have to have that creative spark. And when you play it for too long, sometimes you just have too much of it, don't you? And then you have to have a bit of a break just to like recharge that kind of like creative streak in you.
It does take a long time to make anything of quality.
Yeah.
In Planet Coaster.
I'm glad you said of quality. That makes a lot of sense to me. I was trying to just like throw up a park, and then it got to a point where I was like trying to make benches out of barrels and stuff, and I'm like,
yeah,
what am I doing? Like using the back end of a horse and cart just to fill like a wall in. It's like, what's this? This isn't architecture.
It is so funny to me that you can just use any random piece to make something that is clearly not.
That's the fun of it, isn't it?
Not meant for it.
Yeah. But I hope you guys have enjoyed the show today, because this is probably going to be the new look going forward for the show. It just seems more interactive. Like, we seem to be getting more reactions and stuff and more playbacks. So that's really cool. So let us know in the comments, guys, and let us know in the chat if you've enjoyed the webcams. They'll probably get better as well with time, where people get like better cameras and stuff like that. Me especially. When
I eventually get a webcam and a headset, we'll be good to go.
Your camera is actually one of the cleanest.
Cleanest.
One of the cleanest on here. It just needs flipping. Like, you've gone into like TikTok mode. You need to bring it.
If I can figure out how to turn that into a webcam, then
you can, but it's really complicated. It's not worth it. Just get one of these 20 quid ones that I got off Amazon. Trust me.
Yeah.
It's because it's wide angle as well. Like, if I didn't have this background on, you see all of my room. It's really cool. It's cool for that. It's just good for stuff like this. It's cool. I'll crack your screen if I have a webcam on from James.
Oh, God.
Oh, man. You're too hard on yourself. Seriously. Raymond Anchors, congratulations on 1,000 subs. Yep, thank you very much. Right, have we cleared all the topics then? What we're going to talk about? Even though we didn't have a list.
Someone mentioned...
Or did you pick one up?
Someone mentioned in the chat, I can't remember who it was, that they might have seen when we were talking about Wicker Man. I swear I saw someone mention in the chat that it opened today.
What?
Or yesterday?
All right.
It didn't open today, I don't think.
No, it was closed today, according to the app at least. Anyway.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got a fly that keeps buzzing around. He might just fly over and I might just disappear. Like,
maybe
because you mentioned fly earlier on.
Nice.
It was closed today, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
But I wouldn't be surprised in the next few days if it opens. Like,
yeah, you mentioned someone you spoke to.
Yeah,
like within the next week.
And this has happened like this. I say this season, like this portion of the season. Not even like about a month ago, it was down for about a week, and they had some issues with it.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
And they got it open. Like, it looked. Everyone was like, I think it shut for like 3 days, and everyone was like, Wicker Man is gone. Like, it's not open. All these rumors come out. It's just like, no, it's never opening again. Apparently, it's done. There's something going on with the foundation, and then it opened. Like, so I think it will be back open again.
Too many people.
People do just love to talk, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, the easiest comparison I can make to that is when we was at Towers Times 15, we were all sat in Costa Coffee and they had the welding sheet over the loop. 20 minutes later, we was on the ride.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Oh
The
man,
ERT.
okay. That reminds me actually. That just reminded me of something. So me and my friend, we went to Carowinds last year, right?
oh, nice.
And it was the second of 2 days that we were there, and
Okay.
we went over to ride Copperhead Strike, and then their new Mac multi-launched for last year. And it was closed at the time, and they'd gotten someone from, I think they'd gotten a supervisor from a nearby store over to the entrance to say that it's going to be down for the rest of the day. And so we went away. In fact, no, we stuck around for a little bit,
Yeah.
and we actually saw them. Like not sanding, but kind of like cast iron sanding a piece of track out of the station, and
Wow.
me and my friends looked at each other like, whoa, okay, we're probably not going to get. We'd already ridden it on the first day, so it was kind of all good, but we were looking forward to
It's
getting
your
on it again
fault.
too. Yeah. So like we were looking at it, just like, whoa, we might not be getting on this again.
Yeah.
It opened half an hour later.
Wow.
What would you... Wow.
That's
So
work.
they've got a supervisor outside the entrance telling everyone that it's going to be closed for the rest of the day. We went and rode Windseeker, that like kind of like a Starflyer ride.
Oh, I love them.
They're really good. We went back like
Starflyers.
half an hour, 45 minutes later. It was open, and we got in line and rode it.
Did you notice anything different?
Like, no.
All right, there you go.
No.
What's that like? Because that's got a similar launch to Icon, right? It's not forceful. It's just nice and fluid, and
Yeah,
you're off into the
the
layout.
two launches aren't that forceful. Mac launches are they do just seem like just other methods to get the ride from A to B, from one portion of
no
from one
lift
half of the
hills
ride
and
to
they
the other.
just
And stuff.
launch.
So like, that's all it is. But the ride's awesome. It's such a varied coaster in terms of forces and stuff. It's not just about the hang time, even though that's probably its most marketable feature. It's not just about the hang time. There's positives in there. There's whippy transitions. There's airtime. There's ejector airtime. There's moments of speed. There's good changes in direction. It's such a well-rounded coaster.
Sounds like Icon to me.
Yeah,
You just described Icon to me pretty much. Like
Effectively, yeah.
Because that's why Icon's so good. It's like it's not about speed. It's not about like inversion. Something about it that is just fun. Like it's
a great ride.
Nice to ride. Like,
that's what Copperhead's like. Obviously, I've still yet to do Icon. Hopefully, sometime soon. But that's what Copperhead's like. It's just such a good time. It's just such a fun ride.
James has just come up with something that I was thinking about earlier but didn't say it. Yeah, Winter Wonderland's been cancelled this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's everybody's bank accounts feeling now, though? Pretty relieved, right?
I'm fine with that. Like, I wanted to go. Obviously, I would have gone if we could, but it's just so expensive, and it made me laugh so much. We might have discussed this on a previous show. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think we did do how much things
but
cost.
I was just saying, like,
Yeah.
they come out with like that membership, that card, and it was like you can buy this card for £500 and get on like 5 rides. Such the value. Like, what, really? It wasn't that much, but it was like equivalent to like it's not even saving any money. But yeah, it was. It's a shame because obviously it's a big thing for this country and Chloe that only time like get some thrills, really. But I can understand it because it's like the people they've got to start now, like getting the rides, planning to get the rides over and stuff like that. It's a bit like the scare mazes, isn't it? Like the pop-up scare mazes.
Yeah.
People are saying they can run, but it's like it's a massive gamble for them because they're like,
Huge.
yeah, we can run right now, but we don't know what's going to happen in a day.
When it starts to get cold again as well, like into flu season and all that stuff. So
it's the same sort of thing, isn't it? Where it's just like, it's okay for Alton Towers and Thorpe Park. They've got it's all set up, it's all ready to go. They just got to do some work behind the scenes. But thinking about like planning permission and the costs that causes, and especially with Winter Wonderland, like getting all the rides over, like that's such an massive cost. Surely
they have Olympia Looping, don't they, that travels with them as well?
That's, if I remember correctly, basically the way Winter Wonderland works is that the ride up, well, the people who own the rides, they pay quite a lot of money to just be there, like as to have their stall, like and
basically like a theme park version of a Christmas market, isn't it? Basically,
yeah. Well, I don't know. It's a bit different because I know the in and outs of Christmas markets because I've had a bit to do with them. And the way they normally work, the Christmas markets work, is the council will make a deal with like a company in Germany.
Oh, yeah.
But the way Winter Wonderland is, it's just like, look, we've got all this space. Do you want to have your ride here? And then you just pay. It's a bit like a festival, like if a burger van wants to go there, they have to pay like extortionate amount of money to be there, and they make their money on the tickets. It's why it costs so much, because like obviously they got to make the
50
money back.
quid for a bacon butty.
Yeah, but all the people who have the rides there, that they normally operate at the Oktoberfests throughout, and
Munich
they make
stuff.
the money in Netherlands and things like that. They've all been cancelled, so I don't think they've got the money to like. They probably just had no one say we want to have our ride there because they haven't got any money. That's what I think's happened.
Maybe they couldn't afford to get it over. That's literally it. They can't afford to. So they'll probably do their own, like you said, they'll probably stay in their own countries and do their own festivals next year, hopefully, if some sort of vaccine is miracle out of somewhere. And then the year after, I think 2022 is going to be the year for everything to come back to perfectly normal to what we've been used to in the past, but it's going to come back. It's going to be the year to go, guys. Make sure you get out and get to these places and get some revenue back. And people need jobs. These things create jobs for a lot of people as well, especially where they're located. So make sure you go and support your local fairs as well if they do open. If your fair opens up at your abandoned quick save, that's a £10 to go in for your wristbands, and you just go in there just for the fun of it. Just pay the £10, go for a walk around, get on a couple of rides, go home happy, because without things like that, this country doesn't have anything in wintertime or in fall time.
That's the thing as well.
Disappointing.
I remember seeing an interview with like a fun fair owner, and it's the thing is with them is they have all their rides on finance. Throughout lockdown and stuff, they've had like no protection on that, and like they're massive issues because like all these fun fairs, like they've still been having to pay the finance for these rides, and they're not obviously been able to
being
go.
used. That's just money dripping away, isn't it? That there's nothing coming in, so it's just completely. Man, I feel so sorry for the people.
I'm hoping because is it Carter's who have the vintage fun fair. I think it's Carter's Fun Fair. They have like all the old steam rides and stuff. They mainly operate in the south and stuff. But they do once a year. They come to like Litchfield, which is down the road from me, and they've been hit hard. They own all their rides, but that's an amazing fun fair because they do all their, like the traditional sign writing on all the rides and stuff.
Oh, nice! Like the vintage stuff, yeah.
Yeah, the proper vintage stuff. They're the only people who do it on the rides anymore, and that if they're ever in your town as well, you can pay about 50 quid and they'll teach you how to like sign write. It's like a 3-day course, and awesome art. It looks really cool. Like it looks really good. But yeah, like it's a shame for them as well. But it's one of them. But yeah, like you say, just support. Well, even if it's your local amusement park, just get out there if you can, of course. I know that not everyone's got a luxury in terms of money or building or whatever, but that's why we're lucky enough that we can go out and do it. So that's why we choose to do it. So
I mean, the first day we went, I was looking at that Wicker Man jacket and I was like, I should get it. But do I want it? Do I want it for me, or do I want it to try and give some money back to Alton Towers as well? It was kind of a win-win for me. It was like, okay, it's expensive, but you're getting some money back into the park because you've only spent £1 on your ticket, and they've not been charging you for your membership for 5 months now.
Yeah.
It blows my mind. It blows my mind because like a lot of people, they see like Merlin as this massive corporate like entity, and yes, they are quite corporate, but they're not like Disney. Do you know what I mean? Like they're
Yeah,
still,
no, they're not.
they're still probably operating on the line. Like
Yeah.
yes, they bring loads of money in, but how do you know how much money it takes to like run a park? Like when you think about all the operations that go into it,
Everything.
People
insane.
heavily underestimate how much money goes into that.
Yeah, something like Alton Towers
Definitely.
as well. Like when the water got taken off by the storm that we had,
Yeah.
everyone was like, that was crazy. We didn't even talk about that because we didn't
Yeah.
do a show during the time of it. But when that happened, I was like, whoa. Imagine how easy it would be not to open a park. And they must have lost so much money that day from that. Like so much
money, man. And people were still moaning and saying, well, you should have things in place for this to happen. It's like it's a freak occurrence. Like
how can you
want me to throw up water towers everywhere just out of nowhere?
Protect for an act of God. That actually makes me
think. That actually makes me think of so in the state of Virginia, they told Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, and King's Dominion that they could open, but only under a cap, under a capacity cap of 1,000 people. So it's like how the hell are parks of that size going to open and only allow up to 1,000 people in them? Like open everything up just to allow only 1,000 people. They're gonna lose money in the tens and hundreds, in the tens of thousands.
Just turning the lights on, they're gonna lose money, right?
Well, they can't like not run the rides, can they? Otherwise, it will mess the rides up. That costs like ridiculous amounts of money. Like
so that's what. So that's why King's Dominion hasn't opened. Isn't going to open for this year. It's damn near a miracle that SeaWorld and Busch Gardens Williamsburg have had the creativity to put on partial events in the park so they can get the park open. So what they've done is open just a few coasters up and offer it up as an event alongside with some ancillary activities like just different food and drink options and stuff. And it's super. It's kind of bad because they haven't been able to get all of their staff back. So some Busch Gardens staff are still not actually back to work yet. But at the same time, it's still such a creative and such a smart way to get some money back into their pockets and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, even like Epcot with the food festival still going ahead and stuff like that. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
That's the good thing when Oktoberfest was announced, and they said they was going to carry on with it, and then Blackpool did it, and Thorpe Park announced it. I was like, that's exactly what they need.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter how small the event is. Like Epcot Food and Wine Festival, like it's not like a massive event. It's just like we've got some vendors here, but it brings people there, and it's like
it sounds like a big event though, doesn't it?
Yeah,
sounds like a massive event. Like Food and Wine Festival. All right, I'm in. Let's go. And you get there, and it's like 4 or 5 new stalls in a few new areas of the park.
Epcot.
Yeah, I bet the food's good though.
Yeah, probably.
The food's good.
When we went to Epcot, it was the Flower Festival, and I was like, "This sounds a bit weird," but we went there, and it was awesome. There was like made Disney characters out of flowers, and
I always forget that Epcot's Disney.
Yeah, it's weird.
Always forget that Epcot's Disney. I don't know why. I just do. Like. Crazy.
It's good. It's one of my favorite Disney parks that I've been to be honest. It's just so different to everything else. Like it's not a theme park. It is a theme park because it's themed areas, but it's not like you don't go there expecting rides. It is more like a massive food festival. That's what it is. It's like we
were saying that after the recording last week, weren't we? Just like I feel like once Epcot has eventually gone through its whole transformation of all of the major areas of the park, however far back that gets pushed, I feel like that will be my favorite Disney park if and when I get to experience that, because it just looks so much. It looks so much more progressive and so much more, just vast in terms of it, in terms of its immersion and experiences. especially
yeah.
after
The
these new areas
the
coming as well.
Ratatouille ride is pretty much ready to go now. Ratatouille is ready to open in the French
Yeah.
Pavilion. Spaceship Earth is not being renovated anymore for the foreseeable future. I was going to do all that over.
Has that been completely cancelled or just postponed for the time being?
Well, they're saying it's not happening yet. So
Yeah.
I think they're just looking at it going, we've still got a working ride. It's fine.
Yeah.
The Mary Poppins ride, which I'm gutted, has been pushed back because that was going to go to the UK Pavilion. What was the other ones? Moana section, I think, still going ahead, which looks pretty cool. The Moana section.
Oh yeah.
And what else was there?
There was the like little Moana inspired section in the I think it was World Discovery.
Yeah.
The new World Discovery section that they're including, and then the Guardians coaster on the other side as well.
That's what I was trying to think. The Guardians
coaster.
Yeah, that's still being it was being constructed when we were there, so that's obviously not going to go ahead. But it's going to be a different park when it opens. Well, when
definitely
fully opens back up.
Definitely.
Because when we went, it's the first time I've ever been, and there was just like fences everywhere on the entrance.
Oh man,
it's a bit like
yeah.
It's pretty rubbish. Just because you put "Go Away Green" on fences does not make the fences like, you know. But it's a great park. That, like I say, it's just great. It's just a nice time. Like if you're doing like a Disney and Universal trip, you know that's where you're going to spend most of your time. But Epcot is like a nice break from it, where you can just go around, like taste the different foods from like the different vendors. You know, like even a Chinese restaurant, like because all the areas are run by like people from that like country. So it's all like really, you know, as kind of authentic as it can be, I guess, for being in Florida. But it's a nice area. But yeah, I think didn't we say we was ending the show?
Yeah, we did.
Sorry to butt in, guys. I'm really sorry, but I'm going to head off. I'm afraid I've got to go and sort something out. So
no worries, man.
Sorry to everyone that's watching, but thank you so much for joining us this evening. Like Luke said, I really hope you've all enjoyed the brand new look. And yeah, hopefully I'll catch you all very, very soon. So yeah, have a fantastic evening, guys, and all the very best, man. Okay.
All right, Joe. See you later.
See you, Joe.
Later,
Sorry,
mate.
guys. Bye-bye.
Bye. So yeah, guys, make sure you go over to themeparkinsanity.co.uk and follow them on Facebook as well. So thank you, Joe, for joining us. That was awesome. All right, so we're probably gonna wrap this up anyway now, to be fair. An hour and a half is pretty decent. We'll probably try and keep that as the standard from now on, like maybe go a bit earlier. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
We can't do it all in an hour. Like we've tried and tried and tried. And the last 5 episodes have just been like hour 40, hour 50, hour 30. Yeah. So I think
there's too much to talk about, and you know how me and Sean love to go off on a tangent as well.
But it's not even that. It's just the fact that you know we're covering news that is some of it's old news, but some of it is old news with new twists on it. Rumors and all kinds of things. So it really does. It doesn't even feel like we've been talking for about 20 minutes for me. It doesn't even feel like that. It goes so quick. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed this, guys. Really appreciate you watching along. And if you're watching this on playback, thank you so much. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you do. And make sure you subscribe over to ParkSpill as well on YouTube. And make sure you check out Mikhile on Twitter and Instagram. The links are in the video description below. But yeah, so Sean, where can people find ParkSpill at?
ParkSpill on YouTube, ParkSpill on Twitter, ParkSpill on Instagram, and if you're on Facebook, ParkSpill on Facebook.
There you go. And Mikhile, what's your handle for Twitter?
That is Mikhile3, Mikhi03 on Twitter.
Yeah, and like I said, guys, all the links are in the video description below. So thank you so much for tuning into the CoasterGen show this week, and we hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much for subscribing to the CoasterGen and getting us to 1,000 subscribers. Incredible. We're just going to keep growing and growing and growing and growing as a massive CoasterGen family, and we're just going to keep on bringing you this show, bringing you content from all over the world as well. And make sure you follow us on all our social media. But for now, I've been Luke, he's been Sean from ParkSpill, and he's been Mikhile, and that was the CoasterGen show. And we'll catch you next time, guys.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.